right, guys. So tonight, Laura Blaylock is going to be our speaker for our team meeting. Laura is, I literally wrote down a sponge. So she actually joined Cincy in 2017, right around the time that I joined, which I didn't know that until last month when we had our coaching call. But she reinstated last year, and it's insane. She has a whole different perspective than a lot of us because she is a reinstatement. She's been on another team, but everything that she's done since she's come back has been literally incredible. She is on director watch. They're already halfway to director numbers. And so we are putting it right now into the universe, and it's going to happen this month, whether she wants it to or not. Her team is incredible. She's incredible. Anything that I've ever been like, hey, are you up for this? She has done, maybe not always willingly, but she's always done it. And she really is a great resource for tons and tons of information. So you may not know this, but every time that we have someone come on every month, I always ask them, like, what are some things that you would want to talk about? And she actually came up with this content and it's actually really, really good. And I was like, yes, gold, you're doing it. Awesome. I love it. But we're talking about back to the basics. This is a great month. We actually decided this before the join special too. And so I feel like it's even more perfect because we do have a lot of new consultants coming in, but we also have a lot of seasoned consultants that we all get to a roadblock in our business. We all get to a part where we're just like, what is going on? Why are things not going the way I want them to? And so really taking it back to the basics of our business is what she's going to talk about. So without further ado, I'm going to let you unmute yourself. I am going to leave it. Yep. So I will let you take it away, Laura.
Okay. Hey, guys. So we're going to start off first with something a little interactive. So when you first started Cincy, so when you first clicked join in your first couple weeks as a consultant, in the chat, I want you to write what your feeling was. So for me, I was giddy. I was super excited and couldn't wait to grow and to learn more about the business. I'm going to give everybody a minute just to kind of post their Whitney. Whitney, that's unacceptable. Unsure. You're unsure about the business. Is that what it was? Okay. Confused.
Yeah, I didn't know if I kept telling myself, if it doesn't work, it'll be okay,
Yeah, okay. All right, so there's a lot of nervous, excited. So like I said, for me, it was giddy. I was excited. Now, I was a reinstatement. So I kind of, if I talk about now, it was still giddy because it was something new. It was a new team. It was a new sponsor, new director, everything. So going back to basics, this is something that can be super hard for a lot of people, especially those of you that have been doing this for 6 months to a year. If you've been doing that, you might have felt the burnout. Everybody gets burnout at some point because you get overwhelmed, whether it's release days, whether it's trying to do all your happy mail, thanking customers, doing deliveries, anything like that, maybe even growing your team. So what I want you to focus on is not getting burnout. We stress the self-care more than anything because it is so important to take care of yourself before you take care of your business. If you take care of yourself, the success in your business will follow. So when you first signed up for Cincy, and this goes back to what I asked you guys a minute ago, you want to rediscover your why. Your why constantly changes as you grow. So if you write down your why, then you can focus on your why today. And then in 3 months or maybe 6 months, depending on what your goals are, write down your why. Write down your why today, and then in 6 months, write down your other why. And I say that because my why has changed. my why went from that giddy feeling of I'm excited just to meet new people to now it's I want to grow my business. I want to lead others. Um, when you rediscover your why, you also find what brings you joy. Um, for me, it's meeting new people. I'm more of an introvert than than probably what you guys probably see on the page. So since he has really allowed me to meet new people and become more comfortable in talking to people, not just on social media, but in person too. Um, I forced myself to do that. Um, next is the three legs of success. Do y'all know what the three legs of success is? Because if you don't, you need to start over. You need to start over with your business. You need to start from scratch because the three legs of success is what's going to build your business. It talks about self care, but then it talks about your sales, your sponsoring, and your coaching. So, the three legs of success, I'm not going to dwell on that tonight because all of you should know exactly what the three legs of success is. If you don't look it up. It's in Simply Grace and Grit. It's probably in your join packet that you received from your sponsor, should be. Um, but when you start with the three legs, so you have your why, and then you find out what brings you happiness, what brings you joy with Scentsy. Then you build your three legs of success. You start with sales, then sponsoring, and then coaching. Then you want to incorporate Scentsy into your everyday conversation. I can't stress how important it is to incorporate Scentsy in your everyday conversations. Doesn't matter if you're at work, if you're at a family event, if you're hanging out with friends, I always find a way to bring up Scentsy. Somebody says, "Oh, how's it going?" It's going great. Scentsy is taken off. You should see the new releases. Or, yeah, we have a new release on Monday. Whatever it may be. I carry little cards and samples with me everywhere I go. You should always have a catalog. You should always have a business card. You should always have a sample. I carry those three things with me everywhere I go because you never know who you're going to meet. I went through Dunkin' drive-through. I handed the people through the window sample and a business card. I got an order. Wasn't expecting it. I just said, "Hey, thank you guys for what you do," and handed that to them. I incorporated that into my day-to-day life. Next, once you master all that, you need to write out a to-do list. To-do list, I'm a list person. I have lists for everything. For my full-time job, for Scentsy, for cleaning the house, for events. I have to-do lists for everything. I've always been that way, so actually transitioning into Scentsy with my to-do list has really been easy. But before I go to bed each night, I write out my to-do list in my notes on my phone. It's right there all the time on me. So I write a to-do list. The beginning of the month, I write out my monthly goals. I do this because it gives me a broader picture of what I want to reach each month, and it changes. So this month, it's director. Last month it was director. This month it's director. Just with Scentsy, it's director. It's also my PRV because I want my PRV to be at a certain point because I also want annual sales. So I have that monthly goal. Then I do a weekly goal. So how many joint conversations do I want to have? How many people do I want to talk to this week about Scentsy? All this stuff that I'm talking about is what's going to help you build your business. But by setting these goals, you don't get overwhelmed. You don't get burnout. You simply take each day for what it is because you have your goals. Beginning of the year, I know Whitney, we did this in Simply Grace and Grit, yearly goals. Set out what you want to accomplish this year. personal, business, make 2 separate goals for each. Um, focus on these goals, and I promise you success will follow. Success will follow if you reach these goals or you work hard towards these goals. Even if you don't reach them, you've made progress. If you're not making progress, you're hurting yourself in your business. Just like if you practice to run a 5K and you run for 2 weeks straight and then you take 2 weeks off, what is that going to do? It's going to put you back at 0. You're going to have to start over. Excuse me. So you want to rediscover your why. Find out what brings you joy in your life and in your business. Start building the 3 legs of success with your sales, your sponsoring, and your coaching. Incorporate Scentsy into your everyday life, conversations, whatever you do, whoever you interact with. Give them your card, give them a catalog, share your party link, your catch-all link. Ask them to do a party. Write out your to-do list, your weekly goals, your monthly goals. You have to take the time to do each of these things. Even if you don't want to be a leader, you still want to grow your PRV. That's still talking to people. That's still increasing your sales. That's still practicing self-care. Because all these things build your business. When I talk about self-care, it's treating yourself. It's not taking your kids to the park. It's not hanging out with 25 friends or whatever. Self-care is something that benefits you and only you. It's something that relaxes your mind, whether it's yoga, whether it's sitting in the bathtub listening to throwback music, drinking a glass of wine, whatever it is that's going to help you relax and clear your mind. Don't overwhelm yourself with the big picture. So this is something that really at the beginning I struggled with, because I wanted to grow. I wanted to grow fast. And then I realized that I'm focusing too much on the big picture. I'm not focusing on today. So what happened was my systems that I had set up failed. All of my systems I had to go back and revamp. I had to redo. And that hurt my business when I was focusing on the bigger picture and not on today. Don't let yourself get burnt out, because it's going to set you back. I don't know how many of you guys have felt burnout, but until you can take yourself back to that feeling when you first joined, about being excited about a new adventure, a new journey, meeting new people, you're going to lose yourself. And it's going to reflect in your social media. It's going to reflect on to your customers, because they're going to see that you're losing that passion. And your customers love seeing what you're doing. Your customers, your friends, your family. Just this weekend, we spent Mother's Day with my mom, and my sister and everybody was there, and they said, well, we know you love it. We see it in your Facebook. We see it whenever you talk to us. It's constantly Scentsy. How's Scentsy going? It's great. I love it. Because I had to find that passion again in me. Last fall, I lost it. Whitney reached out to me at one point last fall and was like, hey, is everything good? I'm like, it's good. It's good. Deep breath. But that's because I was looking at the big picture. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't taking care of my business. I forgot what it was like to just enjoy and have fun growing my business. Michelle is on my team, and she can tell you, I tell her all the time, have fun. She'll ask me questions. I'm like, as long as you're having fun, as long as you're enjoying it. Because that's all I care about. If you're enjoying it, I know that you're going to grow. I know that you're going to succeed, because people see that. So last thing before I wrap it up. So sharing on social media, we preach this from day one. I've told all my girls about it. I say it all the time, be consistent in what you do. Because people see that. People see on social media what's bringing you joy. If it's your kids, if it's your family, if you don't have kids, if it's your dogs or vacation, if it's going to get pedicures on Saturday morning, whatever it is, share it. It's the same thing with Scentsy. Scentsy brings you joy. The only difference is you get a paycheck. You get to meet new people. So make sure whenever you're sharing on social media, utilize Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Y'all, there's so many different things to use, different resources just at our fingertips now. 10 years ago, they didn't have all these different social media accounts that you could just share what you're passionate about. Use it. Figure if you have to watch 10 YouTube videos to figure out how to use something, if you have to talk to 4 different people on the team, figure it out. It took me forever to figure out TikTok. Now, my stuff's not funny, but it's up there and it's getting views. So utilize that, but just have fun with it. So when you're talking back to basics, when I was thinking, when Whitney asked me and I came up with back to basics, the first thing that came to my mind was fun. Scentsy supposed to be fun. Scensy's full time for a lot of people. It's part time for a lot of people. For a lot of people, it's also a hobby. My full time job, I'll tell you guys, I hate my full time job. Why? It's boring. I go in, I do the same thing every single day. But with Scentsy, it's my outlet. Eventually, I'd love for it to be full time, right? I can work 4 hours a day or whatever I want to. Go to the beach, go to the pool. Just have fun with it. Because if you're not having fun, you're going to lose your passion. If you lose your passion, you're going to get burnt out and you're going to get set back on your customers, on your business, on your paycheck, on everything. So love what you do. Focus on getting back to the basics of why you started Scentsy, why you wanted to join and start this journey. We're all doing it for different reasons, but love what you do and find your joy, rediscover your why. That's it.
So good. So many good points. And it's really funny. I do not have Laura's notes for this, but Tip Tuesday, I don't know if y'all can see that. Maybe. What's that say? Burnout. That's what I was going to do Tip Tuesday on tomorrow. So it's funny because we're on the same page. But it's so true. Like everything she said about, because when you're doing this business, we get to the point, like I said, where we hit a wall, whether that be internally or in our numbers or whatever it may be. You may feel like you're not doing as much as you used to. Everything that Laura talked about, though, and it goes along with us being independent consultants, is something that you have to do. Okay. Your sponsor can't be like, hey, you're burnout, let me help you. They can't do the work for you. They can't make you do self-care. They can't make you prioritize. They can't make you do those things. You have to do those. So if you're feeling like you're burnout or you're feeling like you're missing the point, you have to, exactly what Laura said, you have to take a step back and look at your business. What am I doing today that I wasn't doing or that I was doing on day 1 or day 15 or day 30 when things were booming? Okay. That is something that you are going to have to do as an independent business owner, because no one can do that. We can give you the tools, we can give you trainings, we can give you tips, we can give you all of these things, but you have to implement that into your business. You have to decide, is this business worth what I'm doing? And sometimes that answer is going to be no. Be completely honest with you. That's why people stop doing Scentsy, because they can't get over that wall. They choose, it's a choice. They choose not to get over that wall. Okay. And this isn't for everyone. This business isn't for everyone. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it is, because it is hard work, but the benefits in the long run and the possibilities of it are more than worth you feeling in a rut for a month. Okay. Going to be completely honest. One thing that I had to share about Back to the Basics was actually something that was shared on the director's page a while back, the official director's page of Scentsy. And that was a Back to the Basics list of what these directors on the official director's page wish they would have known or wish they would have realized sooner when they were a new consultant. And there's just a list of things. A lot of these things you may or may not know, because we have a wide range of people on this call, but I'm going to go through and talk about. So first is the Party Perpetual Reward. We talked about that recently. So this is the technical side of Back to the Basics. These are like a list of things that, like, I feel like Laura talked more about like your business as a whole, but these are like just a list of things that maybe you didn't know or tips about the business. So the Party Perpetual Reward is actually a extra half off item is how it's referred to a lot, but it's actually intended for a host who has a friend. Can you get that from her? She's chewing on a bone. Has a friend book a party at their party and that host attends the party, they get that half price item. Now we know that doesn't always happen, but that Party Perpetual Reward is for that host to use with their order at the next party. Okay, it's in our catalog, and a lot of people don't know about that. If you're not in that instance where that host is attending their friend's party, you can use that however you like. The next thing is $500 parties, and the big difference between having like a $400 party and a $500 party. There's a big difference in rewards. There's free shipping. That's something that has been implemented in the past year and a half. It used to be $200. Now it's $500. You get free shipping for the party. Recruiting right away. This is gold for this month. People that are joining on a join special. One of the questions that I have started asking people is, do you want to be a leader? And that answer is going to vary, right? Because when you first joined, that's not your mindset, right? You're not thinking about building your team. You're just thinking about surviving the business. But recruiting right away, having your best friend join me on this new journey. Come do this with me. Let's have some fun with this. Okay. Sharing, not selling. I still catch myself sometimes. I'm like, oh, that sounds super salesy. I'm human. Okay. We're all human. So it's going to happen. But sharing your love about it instead of just trying to push those sales, especially at the end of the month when you look desperate, right? You have these goals that you want to meet, and a lot of people they post things that are not sharing. They're literally trying to push the sale. Okay. We don't want to do that. The 2K 5% bonus. So every single consultant, no matter what your title, if you have 2,000 PRV or higher, you get an extra 5% bonus in your commission, which is huge. That's an automatic $600 paycheck, regardless of your title, regardless if you're a certified consultant or a star director. If you sell 2,000 PRV, you're going to have a $600 paycheck without any bonuses, without anything. And a lot of these things we talk about monthly. So I was super proud. Ow, I stepped on the dog. Super proud that a lot of these things we talk about. Sit in the warmer of the month. I posted about that today. That is something that as a consultant, you should be taking advantage of. It's an investment for your business. First of all, it's a tax write-off. Unless you sell those bars aren't going to be a tax write-off. But I personally always get the warmer of the month. What I do with that warmer, if I don't keep it, my customers know because of one-on-one communication that I put that warmer on sale for whoever contacts me first about that warmer. They get it at additional 20% off. Again, that's not something you can share publicly, but in a one-on-one conversation. That way I'm not losing money. I can still take pictures with me with the warmer. I can still share that when it comes in, but I can get rid of it because I don't want it. Okay. Yes. So put it on a deep discount and just let them know that it's just for that one warmer. It's just if you don't want it, and it's the first person who asked for it. I used to only do it for local people, but then I'm like, well, if you're out, you can have that plus the $8 shipping that you would pay on the website, and you're still getting at a deal. Okay. Again, one-on-one conversation. That's something you can put in an email. That is not something you can post on your VIP page. But I personally will always do that because I'm getting paid the PRV, right, for the warmer of the month kit. I'm getting something to sample out. So that's conversations that are going to lead. I get to go live with that warmer. I get to take pictures with that warmer and put it on my mail outs. If you are not utilizing at least the scent of the month kit, you really, really need to dissect it, because a lot of the people who they don't necessarily want to spend the money on the kit, but the money that you can make in return from getting that kit is more. Okay. And it's going to push you more too. You spend $35 on a kit, you're like, I got to get rid of this stuff. I don't like holding on to stock. I hate it. Because I used to do events. I don't anymore. They're not fun for me, to be completely honest. I don't like to keep it. Okay. So me getting that kit, I know I'm going to be like, let me push these samples so you can want these bars. Okay. Perfect example this month with the wax being out of stock the first few days. Do you know how many wax bars I sent out on the first, because people wanted that wax with their warmer and they bought it and I was able to sell it? Perfect example of consultant perks. People are going to ask you what that smells like. And if you're their consultant and you can only read them, the description, they might not like that. I don't know. Follow-ups. This is something hopefully everyone on this team is doing, because we talk about it a lot. But one of the things for back to the basics was doing the follow-ups, doing those consistently. Again, that's conversation that you can have with your customer, just checking in. If you're not having good sales, do follow-ups. Check in with people that ordered 3 months ago. Hey, I just want to check in how your stock is doing. Or not even about Scentsy. Start a conversation about something on their timeline. Okay. It's just a conversation starter. Get uncomfortable. We say that a lot on this team, and the fact that it's on that page, I'm like, yes, that helps me feel like I'm going the right direction. This business is not going to be comfortable. If you're running your business and you're just like, this is so fun that like everything's just fine and dandy and butterflies and everything's so beautiful and I feel so good doing all of these things, you're probably not pushing yourself hard enough. To be completely honest, you should be having hard conversations. You should be asking people about joining that you never would have thought of asking. You should be doing reels or making videos with your products or using your kids in some kind of way to get outside of that box, because people are going to know when you're outside your box. They're going to know when you're in love with what you do, when you're having fun, like Laura said. And really just getting uncomfortable in what you're doing. You don't like to go live? Go live. I'm going to always tell you to do the opposite of whatever you're scared to do. I'm going to tell you to do it. Okay. Don't like having home parties because you don't like talking to people one-on-one. You probably need to go have a home party and talk to someone to their face. Just going to be completely honest. Amber, I see you smiling. Consultant guide and product training guide. As a SSD, I still look at those things all the time, guys. There's so much information in both of those. There's no way that any human being within their right mind can understand and remember all of those things. Please use those as a guide, literally a product training guide. This one's one of my favorites. I still put them with every order. The 10 bags for $1. They're called customer bags. They're the big clear white bags. They're the only things that I have found that a warmer looks good in, to be completely honest, because even if you get the big bags, like they're always just funky looking, and those clear bags you can really dress up in any way that you want, but you can get 10 of those for $1 connected to any party. Adding store items to a party to save on shipping. So I have never ordered anything from the Success Store. I've always attached it to a party because you can save shipping on that. If you order it straight from the Success Store, you're going to have to pay $8 shipping minimum. If you attach it to a party, you're going to get that discounted shipping like it's an order on the party, or you can even get it with the free shipping with the $500 party. Always, always, always attach it. Real life photos. We have a whole album in our team page for this. If you don't have it, go on Pinterest, go on Google, go on Facebook, go on Instagram, any of those, you can search and use it. The only thing is if it has like a watermark on it or you don't have permission to use it, then you obviously can't. But most of the time, if someone shares it, they're going to allow you to use it, especially for like our consultant groups. There's always people posting in there with pictures. And then if you have any yourself, add them to our album on our page. That's something that I reference a lot when I'm doing parties and someone's like, oh, I would like to see this in real life. I'd rather use a picture that either I've taken or someone I know has taken than a random picture. And then always keeping open party link. I feel like this is something we probably haven't talked about in a while, but always having a catch-all party on your website. That is where you get to double dip as a consultant. That is how I am able to offer so many discounted kits outside of a join special. I get people ask me that all the time. How do you always have discounted kits to offer? Well, I have a $200 party. I don't need any more free Scentsy. So I take $20 off that $59 kit and it's a $39 kit at the minimum. Okay. Now that Scentsy has set it up that they don't have to pick a party, but it does prompt them to pick a party. It's, knock on wood, I don't even want to say it, but most of the orders are going to a party. I have a girl that's doing a personal shopping link. I've had 2 customers order from her link just because they've randomly picked her link, okay, because they want it to go towards something. But I always have an open party link for orders to go under. You won't ever, ever, ever see me share just my website. I'll never do it because I don't want those orders going unassigned. If I share anything like a QR code, it's going to go to my link tree, which is what I update every single month with my catch-all party. Okay. All of those little things matter because consultant support isn't going to attach an order to a catch-all party that wasn't assigned to anything. And that's just wasted rewards for you. That's wasted rewards towards a discounted party or discounted kit. I'm sorry. So always keep that open party link, not just for you to double dip. Like if there's stuff that you want, obviously use it. But I have gotten into the habit that I won't close a party until I have a kit to give with it. Okay. And that's because I don't have to close it because it's all online orders. And then last but not least, this was not on the page, and Laura talked about this, but the 3 legs of success. If you're ever feeling some type of way about your business, go back to the 3 legs of success. The PRV is number 1. Always, always, always. If you don't have your PRV, we got to take a step back and really reevaluate how you're getting your sales. How are you treating your customers? How are you doing your follow-ups? Why are people not choosing you to come back to? That's huge. And that's a self-reflection thing where it's like, okay, well, did I treat her right? Did I send her a thank you? Did I check up on her? Did I treat her like a friend and not just a sale? Did I take the sale and run? Huge. People are like all the time. I was talking to a girl who I really want to join. She's not going to do it. She has an $800 party going on right now. I'm just like mind blown. But she was like, me, my Aunt Brenda, my cousin Holly, and her sister Dana, we just are really happy with you as a consultant. And I was like, it never occurred to me that like all 4 of those people, they came from one party, and I've built a relationship with every single one of those people. Did I know they were relatives? Yes, but it just never clicked to me that type of way. When I was talking to her about joining, she was like, no, we're just really happy with what we get from you. We love Scentsy. I'm like, yeah, you can be that person for them. And that's what I want her to be because she buys too much anyways. But point in case is that I've built a relationship with these people. They continue to come back to me a year later after meeting me from some random girl's party that doesn't order from me anymore, to be completely honest. She had never ordered from me before. She just hosted a party, had a really good one because all of them bought, and I built a relationship with them. Okay. So having that self-reflection of how did I have such good PRV 6 months ago and how am I hurting for it now? That self-reflection of being an independent business owner, running reports. What kind of parties did you put in that month? How many random orders did you get that month? How many of those do you think were from social media, from sharing, or from your VIP page, or whatever it may be? So hopefully y'all got some good stuff. I know Laura had a ton of good points. I took a whole page of notes. The biggest thing I think with back to the basics is realizing, and that's hard to, especially as a leader when you're trying to teach someone new in this business, how to be successful, because that's what you are as a leader. And I know everyone on here is not, but you're teaching people how to do what you did. So that's the same thing, even if you aren't a leader. Okay, I'm going to go back to when I first started. How was I so successful? How did I have a 1K month that first month? How much did I push it? How much did I share? How much did I reach out? How many times did I tell people I'm a new consultant? And how many times am I telling people now this month I'm a consultant? You have to have that self-reflection and that accountability with yourself to be like, I'm not doing what I did 6 months ago. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.